Hi, how you guys feeling? Yes. Are you guys ready for some raw emotional honesty? Yes, hi. It's good to see you guys. I can't really see you, so not sure. Are there any ladies or female identifying people in the room? Make some noise. Yes, okay. So, this is for you. I have a question. Have you guys ever been, I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, having sex with a male? Anyone? I was thinking, gosh, there's a bunch of virgins in here. What's happening? No, but have you been doing that, and then while you're doing that, the guy, you reach for the lights and you turn them off because you're getting down to it, and he's like reaching to turn them back on, and you're like, no, stop. And then the guy is always there's like, no, don't worry. I just want to see you. You are so beautiful. And it's like, why do you assume that I have the insecurity? I don't want to look at you. Have you guys, now this is for you penis people in the room. Have you guys seen your faces while you're having sex? It is quite horrifying. It looks like you're trying to lift a 200-kilo boulder while pooping and having a baby outside your dick. So no, I don't want to look at that. But I mean, I've been married now for almost 10 years. And so I don't have that problem anymore. He prefers just the whole electricity to be off, preferably in the whole town, and me to wear a bag over my head, so it's not a problem anymore. Well, I'm not gonna, I don't wanna take too much time because I know this guy has a lot to say, so, but I wanna maybe tell you one of my favorite Friðrik stories. Once we were leaving for our open mics we have at Fredriksen, and I just got a package delivery of clothes sent to my place, and I'm like, oh, this is so exciting. We were about to leave, but I'm like, I want to put on my new clothes, of course, I'm a lady. So I took a top and I tried it on, and I'm like, wow, this is way more low cut than I expected. And I'm like, is this fine? Can I go out like this? Like, or, I feel like it's really booby, and I am used to having these conversations with my female friends who tell me their opinion. Friðrik just went, yeah, it's cool, and I'm like, okay. So we went to the car, and we live in Akranes, and we're driving, and around halfway there, I looked down, and I'm like, Friðrik, why did you say this was fine? My boobs are fully out. And he goes, yeah, I know, I said it was cool. But please give a huge round of applause for the man of the hour, Friðrik Valur.
I'm gonna start this show a little differently with a little disclaimer, because this show is a little different. I have never decided to reveal so much about my private life and stuff in stand-up before. So if it gets a little dark, just know that I'm fine. I got over it. And I'm just incredibly happy right now, and this is awesome. So now it's time to warm up the crowd. Okay. Yeah, I can do this too, Mr. Bean. When I was a child, I thought that grown-ups had sex standing up, just like opposite each other, just like this. They just moved like a seesaw, just like this. So that's why I would draw the vagina, just a circle with a line in it. So it kind of looked like she had like another weird belly button down there. And the reason I say belly button is because that's how my belly button is, because I was born without a belly button. That's right, this isn't a comedy show, this is a freak show. Throw things at me. I've just been thinking this, what if Joe and the Juice was co-owned by O.J. Simpson? Because he used to be called the Juice, because O.J., orange juice. Although after he killed his wife, it was blood orange juice. Another white artist getting recognition for a black man's work. I think that's warm enough. Let's start clean. I started in comedy 5.5 years ago in February 2017. And if that isn't 5.5 years ago, I don't need to hear about it. I'm bad at math. And the funny thing about like starting stand-up comedy, at least for me and for most people I think, is like we go into stand-up comedy not because we're like dull people, we're like, oh, I'm funny. Like you have your friends maybe and they're like, my friends think I'm funny, and there's a word for that, Stockholm Syndrome. Only I can do this, I'm special. No, but I started and I've been told I was very offensive by my parents before I got there, yeah. Who are in the room now supporting me. Or maybe they're deciding if they're gonna stop supporting me. It goes after the show. Yeah, I started and I had a lot of insecurities because I was immediately thinking, oh, I'm so much funnier than this person because I got this one laughter in a 5-minute set. But to be fair, they didn't. So I was like, I had a grudge and I was just like, oh, these people probably hate me and they fucking suck. So I had all these insecurities building up, a lot of stress. And then like maybe a couple of months later, I was like, I want to connect with these people. And I was like, what do these people do that I could have in common with them? And I was like, they're fucking degenerates, so that's one thing. And they smoke a lot of weed. So I started buying weed. Notably from one of the other comedians. So you could say he was a professional comedian because he was getting paid at comedy shows. That kind of like took over, like back when I lived in Ísafjörður, which is as exciting as it sounds, where you hope you get frostbite on your dick just because you want to feel something down there. But then I didn't really connect with weed, but then I was like, no, it sucks, but you just gotta keep doing it until it's good. Because I don't know if you know, I'm an alcoholic, and we're just like, no, this they say it's bad for me, but it's not that bad. I've had worse. And so I would start smoking weed and doing drugs more often, and that kind of went into that about, let's say 9 months later. Because that's a full-term pregnancy, and I want to feel special. I became God. Let me explain to you, my children. My brain started working like overtime, like super overtime, and I could think like super fast, and I was just like, what? I can think fast? I must be amazing. I'm the next step in human evolution. I was just like, I felt I got a little bit smarter, and I was just like, I'm ready to take over some shit. So I did what any sane person would do. I immediately did a video on Instagram tagging Joe Rogan, telling him to put me on his podcast. As he should. And then I was just like, no, wait, he's a busy guy. He probably doesn't have time for me and my amazing story and discoveries. Because the thing with, like, I was bipolar and I didn't know it, so obviously I was just like, there's no explanations other than I'm superior to everybody in this country. That's what's happening at all times. And so I was just like, no, he's a busy guy. He's like a rich guy, and he talks to a lot of people, and he maybe doesn't have time, but I need to get this done now because it's really important. And the thing is, like, that what people don't tell, like, I was alone during this entire time, so I had no one to dispute my thoughts. So I'd get a thought and I'd be like, yeah, that's brilliant. And then I'll also be like, yeah, I agree, this is brilliant. Let's put this on Instagram. And then I'd have another thought and I was just like, what, 2 thoughts simultaneously? This is amazing. And I would just have all these thoughts and I'd always be like, this needs to be recorded for the betterment of humanity. Long story short about that is that if you guys are interested, as I thought the entire world was, because I thought people in every country were watching my videos. To be fair, most of the views said 3. But that was because, I'll tell you this, kiddos, that was because Instagram didn't want me to get a big head. So they hit the views from me, but everybody else was like, yeah, this guy's really doing it. This is really happening for him. And so I was like, oh, Joe Rogan doesn't have time for me. I'll go and talk to Tom Segura and his wife, who have the Your Mom's House podcast. And I'm like, yo, Tom, what's up, Tom Alam? We're friends. Now put me on your podcast. Yeah. And they didn't respond to me. And I was like, maybe they don't do their own social media? So I made sure to send them and 4 other people emails repeatedly in case they didn't get the first one. Kind of like putting in your mail in a garbage chute, just like, I hope this reaches my family one day. It didn't quite work, you know, but I was doing a lot of these important videos that we can agree are important and cool. And I've never actually watched them. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to see how smart I used to be. So I started thinking like politicians, not our politicians, real politicians, not this garbage we have here, not this fucking I had it co-op politicians. That's not the one. Costco politicians. Real politicians from Walmart, America. It's just like, I said hope in my video. Obama said hope in his tweet. He watches my videos. I'm inspiring the man that inspired millions. What a great guy I am. And, you know, and I was like, it's weird because obviously I thought a lot of me, which is understandable because I was like, no, Friðrik, you're not dumb, you're smart. You're the smartest boy alive. So, yeah, I was like, politicians are, and I wanted to be compassionate, so I was like, even like, just like, well, you know, ruling Trump is watching my videos, and I guess he's okay. Like I wouldn't shake his hand because I heard about the pee thing, and that sounds kind of ridiculous. Heard about it, watched it. No. Sorry, it's playback. And I was like, but all I really wanted to do, as I'm being the biggest influencer that ever existed, fuck you, Kim Kardashian, I was also thinking, I don't want to be an influencer. Why are all these non-people watching me that are not watching me but are kind of watching me? And so I was just like, I just want to be a stand-up comedian, because that's been my dream since I was 11 years old, to be a stand-up comedian, because it doesn't require education. And so I was just always like, these people are inspired by me, so clearly they want me to see me achieve my dream, and I can help them fix the world's problems in the way at the same time. So it was like a give and take where I gave way too much. It's like you overfeed your baby and it's like, I don't understand why it's crying. It's getting all the food it could possibly need for the next 60 years. So I was just like, yeah, I actually remember what I did that made me think that Trump was gonna, spoilers, but fly me to America so I could do comedy there. That's because he was just like, this guy said a mean thing about me and he's wrong and I didn't do that and he's an asshole. And I was just like, and I tweeted at him just like, oh man, that sucks. He shouldn't have done that. Immediately I'm like, we're bros now. It's just like, oh, is this the great influencer that everybody's watching? And he's my friend? Better get him on a plane. Because I was doing important things. You guys know who Julian Assange is? The guy, the WikiLeaks guy? You know, the guy that was just like, hey, here's important information nobody wants you to know about. What a dick. So it was on the news that they were trying to track him, and I was just like, well, I'm not much of a hacker, but I could probably read about programming, and then I can just track him down, and I'll help you guys, but don't be too mean to him, I guess. He was just trying to do the right thing. So as you can hear, I was a fucking superhero. Who's Chuck? Oh, that's an old reference. That nobody but Bjarni got. No, but so I also thought that people were trying to kill me. Because when you're saying such important things, there will be people that are against it. So, a little side note, I messaged Ari Altjot, you know, my fellow comedian that I had never met. I was like, hey man, I'm kind of scared to drive because I think they're gonna bomb my car. They're gonna send nuclear bombs to kill me. I was really thinking I should drive into nature and just let them bomb me and there I should die. And that would be the best, at least people could watch my videos. For years to come. This is not really a special thing happening here. This is me trying to get my videos into streaming. And then I just thought, wait, we're playing mind chess now. And I'm using that one that looks like a tower, because he can go everywhere. That's a chess joke. I guess you guys aren't smart enough for that. But, so I immediately messaged him and was like, hey, could you send a bus? I'm scared of driving. And then I was like, oh, wait, sorry. I missed one thing. I also was like, what if they take my videos and they just make it sound like I said something that I didn't? So I'm gonna act my brilliant solution to that. Okay, so now that you can't see me because I'm constantly moving, there's no way you can cut and edit the videos with the voice of what I'm saying. Am I insane or brilliant? That video is still up there, but you had to search for it. So, yeah, I was with my uncle, my mother's brother from my same mother, and he owns a farm. He's like really cool. He's like 3'2". So it's really easy for him to milk the cows. He just walks every time and he's at the size of the others. Don't tell him I said that because he's also super strong. I don't want him just like, oh yeah, okay. Sorry. Oh yeah, okay. But no, so I was like, don't worry, I don't have to stay with you any longer. And then I drove to Reykjavik from the north of Iceland for like 7 hours straight, smoking cigarettes in my car. I sold that car. The other car is fine. Please buy it. And I was also doing Instagram Live while doing car karaoke. Was I doing the carpool karaoke before James Corden? Just me and my other sane personality just rocking it. And I was like, oh, it's time for you guys to listen to Icelandic songs. They're really beautiful. This one's about a flower. And then I would just sing. And then I'd be like, then the Instagram video as I'm driving from the north side of Iceland to Reykjavik would cut out, and I was like, oh, I guess this one was copyrighted. Sorry, I won't sing that one again. Sorry, Metallica. Sorry, I'm as bad as Napster. Another old reference. Yeah, Napster, viruses, great! I went to Reykjavik because Donald Trump had bought me a plane ticket to go to America. This I knew. So I drove there and I slept the night at my parents' place because I lived there because I was rocking it at that point. What? 28, 29 and living with his parents? What a fucking legend. Clearly got his life in order. And I stayed the night, and then I was like, okay, it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow. I'm gonna hang out with her, and then I'm gonna go to the airport and ask what time my ticket is. And and for some reason, my child's mother didn't want me to see my child, and I was just like, what a bitch. Meanwhile, I had made 600 videos on Instagram in less than a week. Because I was the savior of humankind. Was it Messiah? No. Yes. Yeah, Messiah. Yeah, thank you. And so I didn't get to see her, and I didn't want to leave because I didn't know when I would come home. First, I had to make it on my own merit in America, even though I was the most famous person in existence. Who is Nelson Mandela? When you have Friðrik Valur, the humanitarian. And I took a taxi to Keflavík Airport, and I went up to the people, and I was like, hi, my name is Friðrik Valur Hákonarson. I have a ticket to go to America, to Los Angeles. Okay, what's your number? Could you check that for me? What do you mean? You have your ticket? Yes, I have my ticket, but you would never believe how I got it. And for some reason, they didn't want to help me. Because people are selfish. Only thinking about their own days. It's like, it's literally your job to help me. That's what you get paid for. Anyway, so I went, and they were like, maybe go to the information desk. So I went to the information desk, and I was like, I have this ticket. I'm not going to tell you how I got it. But it's in your system. And I need to know what time my flight is so I don't miss it. And they didn't want to help me either. Because Keflavik Airport sucks. So I took and I'm sorry I did that. That was irresponsible of me. But I used my newfound fame to threaten them too. I was like, video, Instagram. Guess who's not even gonna check my ticket? To go to America. Oh, these assholes. And then security was like, why were you recording them? I was just making a point. It's just a thing I was doing. And they were like, well, can you delete the photo? And I was like, of course, I'm the master of this phone. Do you know how many videos I put up? Probably 12. And so I deleted the video, and I was standing in the line to go to see if my ticket to America was there. And then the police came. For some reason. And I talked to them, and they were like, could you please come with us? And I was like, yes, I am cooperative. I know what happens to black people that misbehave. Don't worry, I did not think I was black. That was just a joke. Not culturally appropriate in here. This is a comedy thing. But we went in the car and we went to see a specialist. And that specialist, I talked to him and I explained the secrets of the universe that I had, because I was brilliant, as you all remember by now. And he was like, yeah, this is a pretty sweet guy. I didn't know all these things. Oh, wow, that's impressive. And I explained it to the cops, and then I even was like, hey, I know you guys have a hard job, because I'm that kind of a wanker. Just like, oh, I know, don't think about me, my inconvenience about missing my fucking flight. But you guys have it hard, people judge you, and it's just some bad apples. Or whatever weekend analogy I used. And they drove me to the psych ward in Reykjavik, where I had to talk to another person, if you can believe that. And I was just like, I'm definitely missing my flight. And that person was like, okay. And I was like, well, you're the last person I'm going to explain this to, because I'm not a teacher. I shouldn't have to be explaining this to all of you. I can just put it in an Instagram video and you and millions of others can watch it. And so another person came in and was like, can you also explain it to me? And I was like, oh, fuck no! I had enough. So they were like, you have to come with us, and they tracked me up, and I was just like, oh, Mr. Stupidhead is a doctor, but he doesn't understand that I understand more than him, but he's a doctor. This was also being recorded. And I was just like, what a fucking doctor! And they institutionalized me against my will. I mean, any other day I would have probably been institutionalized with my will. But I had a flight to catch. And they even took away my phone, my means to talk to all my followers. What if they would have taken Jesus' phone away from him? That we wouldn't have the crucifixion, which was like the last party or something. I don't know. Bible stuff. And so I realized I was put there for a reason, and it was to rat out our government and how terrible they are to the mentally ill, which I was not. But long story short, because this is only a half-an-hour show, I found out that like 2 weeks later that I was probably mentally ill, and maybe these things weren't all true. Not all of them. I mean some of them, because you can't explain them. Because as I said in the beginning, I had no one to discredit me. A 5-year-old could have discredited me. I could have been like, that's why this happens. And she would have been like, that doesn't make sense. And I was like, oh my God, you're so smart. Are you my equal? We have same education level. And then I found out I was bipolar 1, which is like, if you're bipolar 2, then why even tell people? That's like saying, I have cancer, and another person being like, think I have cancer in my toenail, I don't know what to do, I should probably cut it. Which is not how you get rid of cancer in your toenail. You suck it out. But my parents, for some reason, wanted me to move out and live on my own, because they're monsters. So I talked to a very good friend of mine, and I was like, hey, can I move in with you guys? I think you have a room. And he was like, we have a room, and you can come live with us forever. We love you, and we want to have your babies. Or something, I'm paraphrasing here. And so I moved into, and he's here in the audience, I'm not going to point him out, but I'm going to be honest now, because this is me revealing stuff. An apartment a homeless person wouldn't sleep in. A homeless person would be like, what a fucking mess. You know where I'm gonna sleep? On the streets. At least they clean those once in a while. And shortly after that, I lost my job. But I lost it fairly, because I got my job again back as a plumber. Which is weird because I barely know how to fix a sink. I think it's just you press a button and something happens, and I don't know. And I lost my job there because I was unqualified or something. So I was unemployed on unemployment, and I was starting to do more and more drugs. And then I started taking bipolar medication that gets injected into my veins like a heroin addict. But for my bipolar, so I can't go manic again, because that shit's scary. And then I started trying to do more drugs. I say trying, because some drugs don't work on me, and I know that because I tried several times. Because as you might realize now, I wasn't as smart as I was when I was manic. So, and then a person moved here from their proud country of Ireland who invented potatoes or some shit, I don't know. And, okay, there was a famine, clearly they did not invent them. And he moved in, and and this is I'm also a proud member of the LGBTQ, and I was one of his best friends, and he constantly told me how much he wanted to have sex with me. It was really comfortable. To describe him as a flower, I'd say he was mud. And I was also dating at the time, but he was always just like, oh, I wish I could kiss you right now. That's what friends do, friends kiss. Like, I'm learning a lot about friendship. And he was, you know, I tried, like, I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, because every time I overcame bullying, my parents were like, let's move to a new place, let's try again. So I started getting friends in my late 20s. And so I have a lot of patience, because I spend a lot of time, I have a lot of patience for people, even if they wrong me. I'm like, probably won't do that again. Maybe. I can pray to God, maybe that will help. Sorry, Mom. And so I was just constantly getting drunk and high, and he would like enable me, which is like not his fault, because obviously you were also all in love with me. But he would ask me things like, because I would be passed out on the bed because I was too drunk and high to stand up. And he'd be like, can I lay next to you? And I'd be like, I guess, just fucking don't touch me. Let me sleep. Leave me alone. And one of those times, he started stroking my stomach, and then he just took my penis out and started fellating me, and I was kind of too fucked up to stop what was happening. And don't worry, I'm over it. And but that was the third time gay person had done things to me while I was practically unconscious. And I don't know, I just guess I must be really sexy when I'm sleeping. Or maybe I talk in my sleep, I'm just like, touch me inappropriately. Do things to my body. That means I have 2 minutes. Okay, so we're not friends anymore. But what happened is I met Lovisa at last year's Fringe, and she is my best friend. I run shows at Fredriksen Ale House across the street. We have showcase shows starting soon. We have a podcast called the FL Power Hour, and if you're really my friends, you should listen to that and make me famous, because you know what a great person I am as an influencer. And yeah, I'm doing a fucking solo show at the Reykjavik Fringe, and I couldn't be more proud.